As we're underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Run.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. That is caught by the former Gator Antonio Callaway. 13 yards on the game's opening play.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So a tough early challenge here, 2nd and long after the sack.
Watch the slot.
Mayfield. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch.
33.
Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle. And a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
That's it, baby.
And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Go, Mike. 180. Hey, alert.
A first down throw for Mayfield. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
At their 48-yard line.
Good. 180. Mike, 51. Here we go. Quick edge. Go. Kings. 51 to Mike.
First carry for Nick Chubb. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd.
Protein spill. 51 to Mike.
From the gun, Mayfield. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback.
Their own 20-yard line.
Set. Step 180. Push it back. 20. Do. Check. Crunch.
It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Play action. It's Newton. Eluding the pressure right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Gun.
Newton now to throw. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. That goes for a gain of 31.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. The big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 38, Newton. And Sanders has got it complete. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Check 53, Mike. I'm here all day. I'm here all day. He's crashing. He's checking crash. Watch it. Gun.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Malik Jefferson in there on the stop.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. To throw is Newton. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
And 7 yards to go.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Newton. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to back him up almost a full 10 yards. It's going to be a loss of 9 officially, and it's 4th down. And this is off the left upright, and it comes back. It's no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
The Cleveland offense ready to go and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
The tackle by Quincy Williams.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Mayfield. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
Regular. Mike 51. They're not ready for that.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. He's got an open man. He completes it to Callaway. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long?
Point it right. And let's get exit. Runner, guys. Mike 51. Hurry. 51's the Mike. 51's the Mike.
Play action now. Here's Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. And Sanders now to return. No score after 1 on EA Sports. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
They go play action here on first down. Here, that's complete. Nothing on that one. It'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's second and 10.
20.
They fake the give. Newton. He's got White here. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 18.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Let's go. 53. Mike 53. Watch the screen. 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 Slant. Gun.
From the red zone now, Newton. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now second and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now they go screen. It's complete. The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on third down. Throwing again is Newton. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. And his kick is indeed good. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the second quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
And feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
The Browns drive about to get started. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Mayfield now, and his throw's going to be incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. I'll tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. They'll be in search of their initial points in the contest, trailing 9-0 as they begin with a first down. Back to it after the pick 6. Mayfield under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. After the sack on first down, Mayfield in trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Trey Flowers, the former Arkansas Razorback, in there to get him. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Not a great start to this drive. You had the sack, now the false start.
I mean, it doesn't take much to either read lips or just imagine what the head coach is saying right now. Get your head in the game, guys. Let's go.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long.
Go!
Now Mayfield. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28, and his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play, and guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Back to the air, Newton on second down. Escaping the pressure right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Throwing is Newton. This is caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. In for the score. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Now the try here for the point after. And he atones for his miss the first time around, as this one is up and good to extend their lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. Trey Flowers there on the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now Mayfield's throw finds Callaway complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. An opening for Chubb on first down as he dashes forward for about 7. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. A run for Nick Chubb. He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. They'll run with Chubb. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Nick Chubb, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And now the clock reads precisely 1 minute to go in the half. You want to run the 1 minute offense? This is a good test right here. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
Well, they're watching the film, and it's working. The Cleveland offense ready to go. A new life now following the late turnover. Maybe a chance for points here before the break.
Yeah, pretty nice situation they find themselves in because they're really maybe one completion away from giving their kicker a shot. and that gives them a chance to get some points up on the board.
Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. From the 45 on second down, Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Browns will quickly use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Mayfield in this Browns offense staring at a third and long now after the sack.
Point it right. 61, matchbox lights. Hey, high 7. Mike 51. No gain on him.
Third and long for Mayfield. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A nice pickup of 23 on the third down conversion. Mayfield looks to throw. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. So we come upon halftime with 9 points separating these two teams. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This one taken from the 7. Now that should give his guys a spark. He's up all the way to the 44-yard line.
Now that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
Check 53. Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning to clear you up.
On first down, Corbett. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a second and 13.
Great. Get ready. Check. 8. 53.
Here's Newton. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. A shotgun snap for Newton. They'll let it go deep for Beckham. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And this will be taken at the 13. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Browns will take over, first and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
Hey, Charlie.
Mayfield to throw it, and that's off the mark, incomplete.
So it looked like maybe his third or his fourth read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
King. Mike 51.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. That's taken in by Callaway. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing on 2nd and 8, Mayfield. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
Mayfield, and that is incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
The Browns send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Check 99. 20.
On 2nd and 7, Newton. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion. Force an incompletion and force another punt. Fielded at about the 28. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away. You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Check 15. Check 15.
Second and 8 at the 47-yard line.
Real. Up. Hey, Alpha.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mayfield. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Mayfield now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Hey, alert 33. 52's the mic. Crunch time. Hey, alert.
From the gun, Mayfield. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Throwing, Mayfield. He'll get this to Chubb out of the backfield.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And again, it's Mayfield. Drops it off for Chubb. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. 4 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down. And his kick is right there. It's good. And the deficit trimmed to 6 now. It's 16-10. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
And some good coverage there by the kick team as they'll bring him down at the 16-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Just like that. 20.
Out of the gun, Newton. Being chased out left. He'll run it. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Lions on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but Look like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it, stuffed him for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Browns drive about to get started. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.